I'm Trevor.
I'm Eleanor.
And this is part 2 of Public Speaking for Artists.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen part 1, we'll put the link in the description or somewhere on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is going to be the rundown. So we've done rundown from 10 to 6. We're going to do the rundown from 5 to 1.
And this is about being there on the actual day.
Yes.
It's for artists because we feel, as artists ourselves, we know it's difficult even talking to more than 5 people.
I was going to say 1.
1, maybe. But since we went and did a talk in Nashville in front of almost 1,000, we feel we've got something we can help other people with.
Absolutely.
So number 5.
Number 5. Technical prep. So this is how you sort of set things up. And actually we went ahead and checked it out the day before.
Yes, we kind of insisted to meet up with the tech people, at least 1 or 2 of them. I mean, they do change. There are quite a few if there's a team, but at least if you've spoken to one, you've got some kind of calm about
exactly.
it.
So we did actually have, there were sort of tech people. Sometimes it might just be the organiser. But yeah, deciding on whether you're going to use your own laptop or you're going to have to use their system and use a USB stick or whatever. So it's always best if you can get there either early or the day before.
Yes, yeah.
We're so glad we went the day before, actually.
Yeah, and we go on.
So we ended up using Keynote, I think we mentioned in our last one. And we had to find a special connector as well because we had an old laptop. So luckily they had various connectors, didn't they?
We did take ours, but it wasn't right for their end, so that's the kind of problem. So, but they did manage to find it, and I'm not sure they would have found it on the day because it did take a while. So then you need to know where it is. And we did pass it on to other people during the day, actually. We sort of told them where it was, so it was useful for others after us.
Yeah.
You hadn't quite prepped.
No, absolutely. So assume nothing, really.
Mm-hmm.
You have to kind of find out all the little details, and one of them in particular is the connector. Another thing was the sound, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so,
because we were using our own, we
When
needed to override the sound, didn't we?
Yeah, so you have to connect it up. So the connector we were just talking about was for the visuals, so that's for the projector. And then their separate sound system, you plug the headphone jack into the laptop. And as soon as we did that, the tech guys knew that it actually wouldn't necessarily go through to the speakers.
No,
you had to check that in preferences.
Yeah, he actually ran on and did that for us.
It saved us because we needed sound for video. We were showing video. So obviously if you're just showing slides, you don't need to worry about that. But there you go. So that's technical prep. Number 4.
Stagecraft.
Stagecraft. So this is just basically your presence on stage. You've got some tips on that, haven't you?
My presence.
Not your presence, but sort of tips for things like...
Well, it's basically because we had to share a microphone. This is the other thing. So if there's 2 people, it would be really good, possibly, if you had your own sort of microphone.
Headset. Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, obviously it's attached to the podium. So we're sort of moving on and moving off out of reach because we're sharing.
Yes.
And it's just remembering that, basically.
Yes.
And
so
not turning round.
Not turning round and talking.
To see what's going on the screen. Obviously you can see that. I don't know why I did that, but I kept doing that.
Oh, right, this is an omission.
And I had to apologise, but because, of course, your voice disappears each time. But and
you're usually getting fairly close to the microphone, not too close, otherwise you get a bit breathy, but getting pretty close to it is usually a good idea, so you project your voice better.
Yes, yeah.
And also I found useful, and this might actually spill into the next point, but I had a water bottle, something to hold, so that you're not just sort of fiddling with your hands or not knowing what to do with your hands. And obviously you can take a swig of water if your mouth goes dry for any particular reason, might be nerves. But that I just found useful to have just a small water bottle, something to hold.
We did touch on it in the last one about notes and what kind of notes you're going to be reading from or glancing at. We prefer the kind of glance at notes that you can just pick out keywords and then talk about it. But we did note that some people, those more practiced, basically it seemed, at speaking, managed to actually read it and actually find their place once they'd glanced up and come down again. But in other talks we've been to, reading from your phone, for example.
We've seen a guy reading from a phone.
And it was really monotone. So he was just reading. He wasn't kind of projecting or... So that's a kind of danger with that.
Yes,
and I think
it is.
it's through practice, isn't it?
It is. Some seem more natural than others. So that's... A lot of people say don't write it down word for word, but we'd like to say that we just seen somebody actually write it down word for word and do it very naturally.
Yes.
And then we've seen the unnatural version as well. So
it's your preference, but ours is the keywords.
Absolutely.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Stage fright.
Happens to everyone, especially if it's your first time. Nerves getting the better of you. We've talked about using humour. That really helps, doesn't it? To kind of break the ice, make you feel relaxed, make you realise that if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. Everybody makes mistakes, and you can make a laugh of it and joke of it, and carry on. So that's not necessarily a problem. No,
the way we did it, because also you might be slightly scared that you say a joke and nobody laughs. It's not very funny. So we did a visual joke. So we had something on the screen that was visually funny. So that did it for us, and then we carried on from that point. So it kind of making it easier for yourself as well. You sort of prepped it.
And we did have various techniques. There's a lady that said it's all about breathing.
Yes.
So regulate your breathing, nice sort of gentle, deep breaths. So that kind of helps calm your system.
It does.
It does start
help
talking. And yeah, I mean, I had a bit of a brain freeze, didn't I? Don't really want to admit that. But we sort of got back into the swing of it. So you can come back from sort of a brain crash.
The problem is sort of thinking about it too much. And thinking about the situation you're in.
Yes.
Think about all the fantastic things you're telling people and how much you love that. And
really try and get stuck into the subject.
Yeah, it's about the subject more than staring at lots of faces.
Because, yes, that sort of thing happens when obviously you're thinking about it. It's difficult not to, but the situation that you're in, what's going on, rather than what you're talking about. So just concentrate as much as you can on what you're talking about. It's quite simple, really.
Quite simple. Quite simple.
Right. Number 2, finishing. Yes, we still have a point after this. It's a bit weird that number 2's finishing, but there you go.
2's finishing, and that's all about having a definite finishing point.
Yes. So people know when to applaud. Just tail off. If you just trail off on your talk, we've seen that. People are not quite sure whether you finished, and then it's.
I think I even did that actually, which is a little bit embarrassing.
Like a gymnast.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Yes.
At least people know.
Exactly, or of course on your slide. So if you can have a slide that, that says thank you or something, then that's a good way of having a definite finish.
There are a few sort of peterers, wasn't there? And it's quite difficult. Because then you're second guessing and someone claps and then you say something again. So it's like a little bit embarrassing for them.
Yeah.
But,
so a definite finish.
Definite finish. And number 1.
Number 1, we're reserving for the post-talk. So what happens afterwards? Because that's pretty important. If you've impressed people with what you've said or what you've shown them, then they'll want to speak to you afterwards. So
this is also about making sure you put your social media handles up as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So have them there.
Have them on the slides.
Mm-hmm. Your website, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
We chose to do the question and answer afterwards.
Yes.
After the actual time we're on stage.
Yeah.
And that worked really well for us. If you have a few minutes spare, obviously you can do question and answers then.
Mm-hmm.
But because we chose to do it later, we actually managed to, get a really nice spot just outside And it was effectively people coming to us and talking one-to-one to people throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So it worked really well for us, and we actually exchanged cards and stuff like that, which you possibly wouldn't do.
No, so that exactly. No, that is good. So you can mention that, you know, for instance, we'll be around in the foyer afterwards, after all the talks because you might not be the last one, but after all the talks are finished, you know, or a breakout period, whatever it is.
Coffee break or whatever.
Yeah. We also had some bags printed up. We did initially think of having T-shirts.
Oh, where are the bags?
Branded T-shirts. I'll have to put up a picture of them. Yeah. But we actually had branded bags in the end, which meant that we found a place where we could sit and we put our bags there so they knew who we were, if they could remember us. And then they felt they could come up and speak to us.
Yeah.
So, and it really worked.
It was really nice, actually. It's really nice to actually connect personally with a few people. So rather than sort of seeing a sea of faces, you can actually connect with them later on in different talks as well. Yeah. So
no. It was fantastic. So there you go. That's our complete crucial countdown to public speaking for artists. So I hope that's useful for you. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you liked what you saw. Please click the like button. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.